Well, good morning to everybody, my friends, my IGNU and other professional colleagues. Well, without wasting much time, let me start. Uh, I must say, I must start a different beat than what is being discussed all over in all the education, whether in India or abroad. So I believe that the key thing for the Northeast, particularly, yeah, for that matter, most of the backward regions of India, is how to link education and development. And today, ICT or information communication technologies is inevitability. And our idea is how to understand quality in education in a collaborative, community driven framework, and how to assure inclusion and link it up with socio-economic prosperity of the Northeast region. I'll just quickly go through it because I do not know how long I should present, so I just had enough slides. Well, first, let us say the beauty of the Northeast. Unique region, much of it was comparatively prosperous till partition. I was told it was the second most prosperous region until the partition. So, partition really adversely affected Northeast. It is UN declared biodiversity hotspot, environmentally sensitive, ethnically rich and diverse. 7% of India's agro-biodiversity rich land contributing less than, as per our statistics, 2% of India's agricultural output. Obviously, there's a huge opportunity to tap into the agricultural sector, but in a way which is eco-friendly for the region. We have to think about it hard, so we cannot just pump in the mass agriculture like rice and wheat kind of thing there. Okay, over-centralized and bureaucracy-driven government and education system, insensitive and isolated from local needs, values, inability to engage local people in development has retarded the growth. Okay, the university education in Northeast dissociated from local adaptations and development needs. We pump the same thing which all other central universities in the rest of India are also doing. Of course, some things have been attempted. There are more than enough exceptions, but the general trend is what I am talking. Their own bright graduates not employable for local development. And most of them, as a diaspora, are very rich in North, and the good Northeast region is in Delhi also now. Okay, for local development, forced to migrate out in search of jobs and career. So we need to think differently. Well, the problem of today's education we have to understand. Present higher education reduced to coaching classes for mass universities. Particularly, I'm talking from the college's point of view, not the few postgraduate classes that are held in a university environment. Education neither learning nor learner centric, which is a major problem. Learning centric means we must have outcome based education, not just I got marks in a patterned exam. Learner centric, learners should have choice of courses like the way our vice chancellor was talking in the opening. You should be able to take courses from multiple institutions, still get a coherent degree. System designed around distrust of teachers and students. This is true of all the universities today in India, not just Northeast. This is because a teacher is essentially preparing a student for mass exam in which he is not setting the paper, nor is he correcting one's own student to give feedback to one's own students. So you cannot build an education system like that. Teachers work like this Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times movie, an assembly line person to conducting this and answering scripts. And I have seen colleges right in Guwahati, which is much better endowed. Things just don't move. Students too expect classes to prepare them for exams. Most somehow want to pass and get some degree so that they can pursue some career. System violates any pedagogically meaningful way of conducting education, particularly at the undergraduate or even lower level. I'm just quoting today's predicament of universities. That is not only a problem of India, by Bill Readings in a book called University in Ruins. It scales. The question posed to the university is thus not how to turn the institution into a haven for thought, but how to think in an institution whose development tends to make thought more and more difficult, less and less necessary. This is the kind of cancerous attitude that has built in across the education sector. No matter how much we talk about quantity, quality is nowhere in sight. So, and the key problem is education is isolated from socio-economic development. Now look at the other extreme, modern extreme. Road to quality education through ICT, I said. Here I am quoting Bill Gates last year, August 2010. He says, 5 years from now on the web for free, you will be able to find the best lectures in the world. It will be better than any single university. And soon place-based college education will be 5 times less important than they are today. How do we manage such a scenario? Everybody is walking, the content can go into their pocket cell phone, it can go into their handbag, in a laptop or the other tablets, it can go into your TV and whatever. So ICT, connectivity and e-government all over India is penetrating. It is penetrating right up to block level and kiosks in Northeast. I think I know Professor Kannan of Nagaland is here. How much it has penetrated in Nagaland, I think even he can probably say better. And things are doing very well. Okay, so ICT makes possible and necessitates the great convergence between education, development and governance. I am not talking about government. I am worried about governance. Government is only an incidence to the government. Be it education, livelihood opportunities, healthcare, entrepreneurship, access to e-governance services, social networking, arts and crafts, local economic growth, all will use ICT. So we have to master this. How do we leverage on this convergence for quality education, inclusion and socio-economic prosperity? First, let us get most of us are not clear about ICT. I don't want to look at it this BSNL or that kind of NKN or NME ICT. That is not very relevant the way we want to understand. Here I am quoting Henry Kissinger. The role of technology is to bridge the gulf between availability of information and the ability to use it. Are we talking about that? So there are 4 kinds of systems in ICT. There are people and systems to collect data, generate and organize information. There are people and systems that disseminate and communicate information. There are people and systems that create value using information. They are the end users. And there are people and systems who manage the technology fabric but underneath all these. And we had to focus on all these systems. And unless you are master of that, you cannot build the kind of technology enhanced education. So linking literacy, education and development, what kind of literacy we should build in common people? How do we break this isolation in a knowledge society and economy? And that's what we wish to bring, say, not only across the country, certainly for Northeast. Pursuit of excellence in education must be by education being at the center and integral part of socio-economic dynamics. Today, education is peripheral to development. That needs to be stopped. Hence, the notion of pursuit of excellence in isolation from socio-economic and social value dynamics is obsolete. Our universities are not discussing this. You don't go to any university in India and see people talking heatedly about transformation, how to improve quality, inclusion. They are only talking about when is my exam, when will I get result, where can I pay have I got the hall ticket. Where is education then? So how do we realize this transition of education moving from periphery to the center of knowledge society? Then only we can talk about knowledge society. So education becomes the kernel, all activities of the society become the shell around which it is built. Okay, we propose establishing a concept called community knowledge enterprises, wherein education is integral component of this. I'm going to talk particularly about CKE, I call it, community knowledge enterprise, in the areas of health, education, agriculture, rural development and tourism and culture. I call the heart areas, HEART. How do you go about? First thing is we need certain common IT literacy. By and large, the children pick it up much faster, but we need to educate the seniors also. So now, first thing is if you take citizen IT skills needed, they must know how to act